and welcome to Tabor Talk. So this whole alpha male Donald Trump stuff, we all know it's a bunch of bullshit. Donald Trump is not a man. He's a weak-ass bitch. All right, I'm going to play a clip, and Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks really nailed it here. He's actually not happy with Jack Dorsey either. There's supposed to be an announcement later today about social media. We'll see what happens here, but watch this.
About this story is that for anyone who's actually paying attention and analyzing this story objectively and not putting their own personal political views or applying their own personal political views to it, think about how ridiculous it is that these men position themselves as alpha males, but they're all incredibly pathetic and weak. Yep. Like, Trump is just so, like, he's so sad. Like, he's constantly crying. Like, there isn't a single day, there hasn't been a single day in his presidency where he's
a bitching and moaning.
Something, like whining and crying about
like
something.
A little bitch.
And then just when you think, like, wow, Donald Trump might hold the spot for, like, biggest bitch in the country, then you have Jack Dorsey, who, like, has folded to Trump's demands.
We'll see what happens today.
Over and over again. So even with this story, they add a fact-checking link, right? And Trump fires back and he's angry. And you know what Twitter did? They issued a correction to their correction because conservatives were arguing that Twitter was conflating absentee ballots with mail-in voting. Even though, honestly, there isn't that much of a difference. The voting is still done by mail. And there is not widespread fraud with absentee ballots. Like, it's just dumb. So now Twitter's playing like this both sides thing. And then it just totally, you know, the whole issue is up for interpretation again, depending on where people fall politically. It's so stupid.
It is incredibly stupid. And like I tweeted during the break, we just passed 100,000 deaths to COVID. Greatest domestic crisis of our life by an order of magnitude or more. I hope for the rest of my life that nothing exceeds this. And the way Trump marked it as is, I'm gonna do an executive order, something about DMs. I don't know. That's what he thinks. And you were 100% right. I mean, I get that nobody cares about this, but I have been trying to drive home for some time that the conservative conception of masculinity is absurd on its face, has absolutely nothing to do with actual masculinity. I mean, Donald Trump, like, all of these qualities, by the way, are perfectly fine to have if you want them, and you shouldn't be judged for it. But if you actually believe that a real man shouldn't be vain or emotional or overly concerned with what other people think about them and all of that, that is all Donald Trump is. He is a guy who is constantly thirsty for validation from literally everyone, constantly whining and getting triggered about the slightest thing, unable to defend his positions, his beliefs, his values, any of it. There isn't an ounce of strength in his entire body. He's duplicitous. He cheats on his wife. He can't run a business. He doesn't pay his debts. Any standard that men have held up as a sign of traditional masculinity, he doesn't pass a single one of those tests. And the conservative men don't care because that's all been a smokescreen. Conservative masculinity is about upholding a society that benefits white men and keeps everyone else down. That's fundamentally it. There's some other stuff that occasionally shows up as, like, window dressing, but they don't actually require it, clearly, because they love Donald Trump like they've loved no man in history.
Yeah, and look, Tiffany Trump wants to know, where's my father, right? Hasn't been a great father. Hasn't taken personal responsibility. He's sad. He's just a sad little boy who's wearing a suit that's too big for him. And he's trying to be a grown-up. He's trying to be a big boy, but he's not.
I'll end it at that. See what I mean? She's great. He's just a sad little boy. And I love all these conservatives. Oh, yeah, I'm really tough. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. It's all window dressing. Okay. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace. Love.